Hello Geeks and Gamers, Matt Lemke here with Through Gamer Goggles, and today we're going to chat about Dragon's Gold. Dragon's Gold is, how do I describe this game? This is a barter, haggle, dragon hunting game where players are trying to outwit the other players. And with that said, we're going to go ahead from here and we're going to jump right into the game demo. And we are then going to come back and I'm going to give you my thoughts and feedback on Dragon's Gold from IDW Games. Dragon's Gold is pretty easy to set up. I've got all my gem tokens and treasure tokens, I should say, in the bag. You got your little counter there. Each player at the start of the game gets a set of warrior cards. In this case, it's with Dragon's Gold, it's 2 knights, one that does 4 damage, one that does 3 damage, a wizard for 1 point of damage, and a thief for 2 points of damage. And each of these 2 cards have special abilities. Each player gets a little wall to hide their tokens behind, and then you will take the dragon deck and set out the first 4 dragons. I did make one little modification to this setup because I already put the marketplace card in here. After you have put your 4 dragons out, the marketplace goes right in the middle of the deck. Each player gets a handy dandy reference card. The reference cards list all the different gems, the quantity of the gems, their names, how to score, and the bonus for number of players in the game and how many points you get if you have the most of one type of stone. Now, oops, wrong way! Now back to Dragon's Gold here real quick. We'll zoom in just a hair. Reading the dragon cards. This is the dragon's power / toughness, strength, however you want to call it. This is the dragon's treasure. This is how you decide or not determine the correct population of what goes on the dragon when it's placed on the table like this. And this is the hidden treasure. When you defeat a dragon, that is the number of tokens that come out of the bag to be placed on it. So, he gets 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next guy gets 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next guy gets 0. And then after that we get 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And you set the tokens aside. Now, basically, you're ready to start the game. And this is actually kind of interesting because this guy right here is worth 7 points. He could be a swing. He can affect how everybody thinks in the game. So the orange player is going to be the first player in this instance, and he's going to drop down his warrior who does 4. The purple player is like, well, gosh, we can go and we can fight for that already. And he's going to drop down his 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. Defeats the dragon because it's equal to or greater than. Then they select the timer, and both players start to barter back and forth for the tokens. Well, on here, we have 2 silver and a gold, so that's 5 points. And then there's 8 points with the red gems. So the purple player says, hey, I'll take these 2, and we'll call it even. And basically they barter back and forth to determine who's going to get what. And the orange player says, no, I want all the stones if you're going to get the black stone. So he's like, okay, I'll do that. And I'm not sure that's the greatest play in the world to do, but for point of this demo, we're going to go ahead and let that happen. The stones, the tokens, go behind the opponents. And this is effectively removed from the game. It gets discarded. The warriors go back to their respective player. Now I'm going to use this die to represent whose turn it is so I don't get sidetracked. And then another dragon comes into play. You populate the treasure. He gets 4 stones. Now, like I was saying before, the treasure gets hidden because The goal of the game is to have the most points, and the way you do that is by not allowing your opponents to know what you actually have in your treasure hoard. So now we're going to look at this. It is the yellow player's turn. And the yellow player sees that there's a lot of precious metals on this one. Not so many precious metals on the other one. This guy gets 8 stones, so he's going to go ahead and he's going to drop his knight of 4 down. Being a team player, the orange mage is going to drop down the 3. And then the purple player is going to go ahead and not even fight that dragon at this point. He's going to go for one of the other ones. He's going to drop down his 4. He's going to go for the guy who's got no treasure. Why? I don't know. He thought it was a good idea. And that brings it back to the yellow player's turn. You know, and they have a whopping here, let's see, they have 7 points, so he needs to do at least 3. So if he wants to defeat the dragon now and have the better option, he's got to drop the knight with 3 to kill that dragon. Or he can do something like drop the thief, or he can drop the wizard. But he's just going to go ahead and outright kill it. It'll be the orange player's turn. They flip this over. They get the barter here. He did more damage, so he's going to push for most of the precious metals. Let's see, he's going to push for both gold, we'll say, and maybe 1 silver in the magic item. Why the magic item? I don't know, because he likes magic. And let's say that they agree. So these stones here will go behind him. The dragon will be removed from the game. New dragon comes out, and he gets a lot of treasure. He gets 11. So he gets 11 tokens. Now, let's say that the orange player is like, wow, that's pretty cool. So instead of helping the purple player, he's like, I'm going to go after all those magic items. So he's going to drop down the 3. Becomes purple player's turn. Purple player's got the 3 left and the 4, or the thief and the magic user. So now this dragon is up to 7. He can't kill him alone, and it's the yellow player's turn. The yellow player, being coy, realizes that he could do 1 or 2 things. He's going to play the thief. That's more than enough to kill the dragon. The thief has a special ability that allows you to steal a token from your opponent before negotiation. Oh, my bad. Just got corrected. They occur after negotiation. So we reach in here now and we grab 8 tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's like, oh, I did most of the work. He goes, you can have, let's say he remembered what they were. He remembered that he only took precious metal. He's like, you can have these 2 yellow stones. And the thief's like, okay, I guess that's okay. So these come over here. And we're going to cheat a little bit because we can with the camera. And he reaches back here and he grabs one of these tokens at random. But in this case, just to show you how dangerous it could be to take the stone early on, he knew he had the stone, so he grabs the black stone. These return to their owner's hands. And this dragon goes away. Another dragon comes in. 0 treasure gets placed. 7 hidden. He does 7 damage. This guy is like, well, golly gee, I'm going to spread out some of my wealth and start going for some of the other stones because that's part of the strategy. So the purple player is like, well, gosh, I'm going to go ahead and sneak in here, bring it up to 7. Yellow player's like, well, we're not going to kill him. We're going to play the thief. The orange player goes, okay, I'm going to play the magic user. The magic user takes all the magic items right from the cards, gets them automatically. Now, if there were 2 magic players there, they would have split them evenly. So that is done. The thief, once they resolve, their combat, it's pretty evenly balanced. So the purple player's like, I want the yellow ones. Maybe he wants the green ones, and maybe he wants the gold. Maybe they say since the magic user came in and took so much magic, he gets a blue one. And they do something like this. Let's just say that. You know, for purposes of the demo, there's not going to be a lot of arguing because I'm playing against myself. And since the orange player ended it, all the cards get returned again back to the, whoops, except for that one, back to where they originated. The dragon gets removed. The next dragon comes in, and basically we're going to speed this up a little bit. We're going to go right to the marketplace so that you understand what marketplace does. You can place the it on the table. They get to turn over. The players turn over the hourglass again, which is a minute. And then they get to trade treasure tokens. These are tokens. They don't get to trade items amongst each other. And basically the game goes on until there's no more treasure in the bag. And then when it's all said and done, you pull out, look, if this was a finished game, I'm just going to drop some of these in random places, you would then score the game. So you would score, and this isn't even a fair representation, but you would score, like these are all 1-point stones, that's a silver one, that's a gold one, that's silver, and that's gold. He's got 2 stones, he's got 3 stones of the same color, and you would just score the game. Now, what you don't get to see from the demo is the fact that the haggling and bartering is what the game is mostly about. And we'll come back to that in a minute when I wrap this all up and I sit down with you face to face. So I hope you enjoyed. That was Dragon's Gold. And Dragon's Gold is one of those games, that fits an odd market. You need 3 people. How often is it that your children have 2 people over, or you've got 2 children like I do and they have 1 person over together? So it's a great game for situations like that. It is a great game in the sense that it forces you to haggle, barter, be difficult with your opponents, stall. I would say that there's even bluffing in the game. And I have to apologize at this point because the game demo doesn't really do the game justice. The demo showed the mechanics, and it showed the mechanics just fine. I might have made a mistake here and there, and well, if that's the case, I'm sorry. I'm sure you can make the comments below and let me know where my mistake was. But this game is a lot about social interaction. I would actually love to see a sequel to this game as a party game where there's a whole town of people. Yeah, a town of people killing off the dragons. Because, that fits the fantasy setting. Dragons are really great and powerful, and they come out and they swoop down and they crush them. I like this game. There is only one flaw to the game, I think, and that is the fact that it's dependent upon the people playing the game, which I guess you can say that about every game, but this game more so than others. For example, the first time we played, I played it with my children, and my 2 boys just decided they weren't going to fight about whatever gets placed on the dragon's cards. They were just going to divide things as evenly and as fairly as possible, which to me doesn't grab the spirit of this game. It dumbs it down. This game is about tension and social struggle and struggling to be, struggling to be the alpha male. You want to be the person on top at the end. You don't want to just have this little fairness. The game is part of, it's in a sense, it's drafting. It's about remembering what's been put on the dragons and put behind the shields. So if you've got two people that just, let's do this, and then the other person just goes along, the game is not nearly as fun as it can be. Now, we played it a second time. And both of those times, we played it without the advanced rules. We actually never used the advanced rules. The second time, I made sure that rather than being sneaky and coy and trying to move around and get as many dragons for myself as I possibly could, that I tried to get in the middle of things and corrupt their plans as much as possible. So, for example, there was one time when they both had 3s on a dragon, and it only needed one more to eliminate it. And there was, out of like 8 treasure, there was like 5 magic stones. So I dropped my wizard. And my wizard just goes, "Ha ha, those are mine. Now we get the barter." After the rest of the treasure got put on. That is the spirit of the game. And as long as you sit down with that game, this game is a lot of fun. Once you learn how to play, it's an easy game to play, and you really can pretty much play it with anyone. As a parent, you can easily play this game to teach your kid different types of strategies about just basic math and even being social with other people. You can be nice and you can be fair or not, or you can look at it of, well, son, you've got 2 knights on this and I've only got my thief. So maybe you should get more. Or you can be like, son, this guy's a thief. He's going to try and get as much of it as you can. And you can go back and forth like that. So, Dragon's Gold, certainly worth your time to play and try. Thanks for watching. This has been, I guess, a review. I didn't start it off to be a review. But it's been a review with Matt Lemke from Through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com.